All right, Math 10s, this is our second video, but first example of finding the surface area of a right pyramid. So we're going to start with a right square pyramid, and we're told it has a height of 5 feet and a base length of 6 feet. We're asked to find its surface area. It's actually a little trickier than it sounds because the height and the slant height are not the same thing. We use the letter H for height, and we do use it for certain calculations, especially in volume. That comes later in the chapter. But slant height, we use the letter S, whether you use a little s, a handwritten S. Sometimes I use because I find my S's look like 5s. So what we have here is a pyramid that has a square on the base, has 4 equal triangles pointing to the top, and we want to know its slant height. So we actually have to take a step, and I think that 3D drawing is okay. You can see that the height is the distance from the center of the square to the peak. The slant height is along the face of the triangle. And then the base would be the whole base. So the little triangle I've drawn there would only have a length of half the base. So the dimensions of this particular one would be 3 feet by 5 feet by S. And so we can use a simple Pythagoras a squared plus b squared equals c squared to say, okay, so s squared is going to have to be 5 squared plus 3 squared. And so 9 plus 25 is 34. So the square root of 34 is my slant height. Rather than write the awful decimal that is 5 point decimal feet, I'm just going to leave it as root 34 for a second. That way I can just round in the final step. If there were rounding instructions, I'd worry about it. We have our formula that says surface area is 1/2 slant height times perimeter of the base plus the base area. Base area is easy enough to find. That's just going to be 6 times 6. Perimeter of the base is just going to be 6 times 4. And now that we have the slant height, we have all the ingredients we need. So we just crunch the numbers. I was a little lazy there and left out my units, but we have 1/2 times the square root of 34 feet times 4 times 6 feet plus 6 times 6 feet. And when you add it all up, it comes to approximately 106. And notice the units here are square feet because we're talking about an area. Area units are in square units, and this particular question was an imperial unit of feet.